Hello, everyone. My name is Abiona Tuluwalashe Peace, and I'm a member of Love Network Global Ministry.
Hi, my name is Azan Oluwapelumi. I am a member of Love Network Global.
My name is Michael. I'm a member of Love Network Global Ministry.
I started Love Network. I joined in 2021 through the leadership and discipleship training. Now, this training helped me to be consistent with the Bible. I took my Bible in 1 year so seriously, and I was so consistent for the very first time. And during the process of this training, I also had, because I was a final year student at that time in the University of Lagos, and I had challenges with my project topic, and everything was not going smoothly. And during this training, I was able to solve that problem. And in fact, I had a very good result from that particular project. Yes, so I would also like to share with you that during the leadership and discipleship training, I was also the one in charge of the outreach that we had, because at the end of the training, you're supposed to have like a project. So I was in charge of that project. And the outreach was, we had to go to Motherless Baby Home to share some items to the children. And this motivated me to actually start my own NGO. Now I have two, and I just got awarded for a very wonderful prize. I will not tell you the amount. So, and my relationship with Pastor Adebola has been so amazing. He has made us so consistent with prayers, talking to God. And I always remember him saying that our purpose as a believer is to know God and make him known. So I always carry that with me every time.
I really want to appreciate God for opening me to this ministry. It has been a blessing. It has impacted my life in a very huge way, and I'm so grateful to God for, putting me in the midst of such amazing people. It's been a journey. I've learned a whole lot. I've learned to, get closer to God, have a better relationship with God. I've learned to see God beyond just being something very spooky and all of that. I see God for everything that happens in my daily life now, and I'm so grateful to Pastor Debola for helping me see God in that way. I've also learned leadership. It has been a hard one for me to learn, and I really appreciate all of our pastors who have been very patient with me. I know I was hard to deal with in the beginning. I wasn't meeting up with deadlines and all of that, but I really appreciate the process. It has been, like I said, it has been a journey. I have learned quite a whole lot. I am so glad to be a part of Love Network. Testimonies upon testimonies, prayed about things, seeing God move in magnificent ways. In fact, it's beyond my comprehension if I begin to mention the things that God has done for me in such an amazing time. I mean, it's innumerable, and I'm so grateful to God that Love Network Global is eventually turning 1, and it looks like we've been around for almost about 10 years now. I'm really amazed at what God is doing here, and I believe that much more would happen, and I believe that from here we would get to reach out to more people, take nations, and all of that. So many things. Watch out, we're coming.
I've been with the ministry for a while, a long time, if that counts. So I've been around since I saw us grow from a small fellowship of believers to now having a full-blown Sunday service. And this has just shown me that consistency yields results, and it has shown me that God actually works with people that are ready to work with Him. So, being a part of Love Network, I found a mentor in the person of Pastor Debola. I found a mentor, a pastor, a father. Because at some point in my life, I was directionless. I literally dropped out of school. Didn't know what to do because I felt like the world was too busy. I should probably just let everybody do their stuff and have fun. Papa Adebola will always say that the gospel gives you focus early in life, and I'm a testimony to that. Because look at me today, from a school dropout to running a business, chasing another data certificate, and also working in data role. I've also found Christ, because when I came into Love Network, I don't want to say I don't have Christ, but I learned to read my Bible, I learned to pray, I learned to walk with God, and God has done so many amazing things in my life since I've been a part of Love Network. Also, 3 major things. I found direction being a part of Love Network. I found Christ. I found a pastor, a mentor, and a friend. I also have met so many amazing people. I met so many amazing people in Love Network. I can't begin to name names. But God has really been amazing to me since I've been a part of Love Network. And interestingly, we are celebrating our 1-year anniversary. And it has been a journey. I'm a testimony to that.
Hi, my name is Pastor Adebola Alaba. I'm the lead pastor of Love Network Global Ministry. Wow, 1 year has just, come and gone like that. It's really wonderful for me to recount how far God has brought us as a ministry, the testimonies, the transformed lives, all the things that have happened in just 1 year. It's been so amazing, so amazing. So Love Network started in 2018. First of all, the Lord gave us the vision in 2017. It was a bit scary. I was dazed because that was the least thing I expected that God will, speak to me about starting a church, because I was expecting other kind of instruction and all of that. And so in 2018, we started somewhere in Bagada, and so it was in Yemi Hadidiji's room, himself and his brother. We shared the vision with them, so they bought into it, and they gave us the opportunity to just start something. Just a few of us, about 5-6 of us, we just sat down and we started to share God's word, and that was it. And we started to go on and on and on. Then, of course, the idea we had then was the Acts chapter 2, church, where people were meeting house to house. So we thought we're going to have house to house experiences everywhere, all over the world, because of my previous experience with ministry. So I didn't want to do anything that had to do with activities, carrying speakers, doing sound. I felt that those things really took a lot of your time, took your energy from the primary things. Little did I know that God had other plans for us, down the years. So that happened, and then so in 2018, so we started out. Then 2019, we started to spread, to somewhere around Yaba, then to University of Lagos. I remember then, so it was just Love Network, and because we wanted to be relatable with the people, and so they don't come with a religious mind, or they have a already blocked mind. So we're speaking directly to their purpose. So we're speaking to how they are, and how they are very peculiar, and they're very important in God's big agenda. And and we started to grow as well. I remember then we were using civil shed, it was a civil engineering shed, and we practically occupied the resting area. So we practically occupied it, and at the point we even had to split. So we were occupying it. Then it was a very wonderful experience. It was really communal, so everybody looked forward to it. We came, we started to grow. I think we exceeded 60 at the time. In a couple of months, we did that, and then we had to split, and all of those things. And we try to empower in one form or the other, try to really help them to be the best of themselves, academically and all of that. Then so the challenges that we have faced, you always, definitely, if you are trying to achieve a vision that God has given to you, one thing is certain, is challenges, but we know that we always have victory in Him. That keeps us going. So so different things, of course, you always are in need of resources when you are starting out. So you are believing and you are trusting, and you have to use a lot of leverages, so you leverage relationships, and you trust that people believe the vision more than what they currently see in the environment. And I must really be grateful and thankful for all our leaders. I'm telling you, this is not just gainsaying or just trying to just say it as a cliche. Our leaders at Love Network Global Ministry are the best. I'm telling you, as in, they are simply the best, because they are just exceptional people. They are sacrificial, willing to learn. The fact that they can believe in what the vision stands for is just amazing. And to let you know, a couple of our leaders have even relocated, and they are still fully committed. I'm telling you, as committed like they are here, and they are as though they are resuming to Love Network office every day. I'm telling you. So we have leaders everywhere in the UK, in United States, just name it. And the commitment is still there, is intact, and is even getting deeper and even more. So we are a global ministry, as our name signifies, Love Network Global Ministry. We are indeed a global ministry, and everybody's pulling their weight. And this is just simply the beginning, really. So they said the lockdown was going to be extended by a period, and I remember I was broken. I was in tears because I didn't hear anything like, "Oh, what will the people feed on? How will their means of livelihood be, catered to?" It was really worrisome for me. I remember then, and at the time, myself and Tayo, which is one of our associate pastors, we were staying together, so I was really broken that night. I was in tears. I was just there and all of that. And, I was just praying that God would just help the people. So all of a sudden a vision came into my heart, and I just so tired, man. We're feeding people. How it's gonna happen, I don't care. We're gonna feed people. So I remember then we just started to rally around. So at the time, I had a particular account. I didn't have access to it because I didn't want to touch the money. So I didn't have ATM to it. So I went to the bank, because at least they give the opportunity to enter the bank maybe till 2 p.m. or thereabout. So I went there, I withdrew the money. We came and went to markets. We bought bags of stuff. We bought all of that, and we started to put them in bags and all. I remember then we fed about over 300 and something families. I can't remember specifically now. And I didn't even know that, that was really inspirational, and, it was really a wow experience for quite a number of people. We had somebody, so we just did a small flyer. We had somebody give to us from Canada, from nowhere. The person just saw the number and reached out. Just text, hi, I see what you're doing. I want to be a part of it. And the person sent money, surprisingly. And we did that. So people were asking, what name should be behind it? I said, no name. We're not tying this. People's life matters. It's not about, trying to tie it to an institution or organization. So we did that, and, that was it. We did the bit we could. So that inspired quite a number of people. In fact, I remember, there was a situation where by the time we're dropping, because we're dropping it from bus stop to bus stops, from house to house for the people that are registered. And somebody was like, oh, this is those Love Network people. As in from nowhere, like those Love Network people. And they gave me the feedback, because I couldn't go everywhere, at the same time. So we splitted ourselves. So used cars, and then so we did all of that. And that was it. Then end of COVID was coming, and I was thinking, so how do people be, fed God's word? What's going to happen from here and all that? And that was what birthed our live groups online. So we just said, let's reach out to a couple of the people that we used to meet in these places. Let's meet online. Let's share God's word and keep, building ourselves and fellowshipping as believers. And, and that was it. And then from there, the online started to grow as well. From 1 to, I remember then we started October ending, if I'm correct, October ending 2020, that, okay, let's do this. Then by December, we had added another group because it was growing. By February, another one. And then we now started to have leadership problem. So we're growing, but we needed people to manage the people that were being added to us. So that was another thing. So we started to pray. That was what birthed the Leadership and Discipleship Institute, because we wanted to disciple people to be able to, disciple other people, cater to God's people, shepherd, people, and that was it. And to our surprise, that was really transformational for Love Network Global Ministry, I tell you, because majority of people started to come through that. I can't tell particularly why, but I just realized that a lot of people were just drawn, because I was thinking that would people really want to do those rigors, because we're praying 4 times at night, every morning, Bible reading, accountability system. It was a bit rigorous for just a regular believer, a regular Christian, and I wasn't doing that. But I found that people were really endeared to it. They loved it, and they gave themselves to it, and we started to raise more people. In fact, at the time, more people came to the church, or came to us, because at the time, were we a church? So more people came to us through that platform, and so we started to disciple after a while too. So we started to grow the leaders too. So we decided to split up and then have cohorts. So we're now having multiple cohorts. So this cohort 1, cohort 2, I think at a particular time, I think currently we have run about 12 cohorts. I think 11th is the last one, maybe the new one. Will be 12 cohorts, and in that we've had multiple. We've splitted that, so the leadership and all of that. So that was really, an amazing one for us. Then, further down to, that was in 2021. After the 2020 October, December, then February we added. Then by May we started the Leadership and Discipleship. Then towards the end of the year, so I started to feel this unrest again. I knew, anytime I had that feeling, I knew that God needed to take my attention, more. So it's not that I wasn't praying or studying the Bible, but I knew that at that time I needed concentrated time. So I started to pray. I started to believe God, what are you saying, Lord, and all of that. And God gave me an instruction to go and see my pastor, and I went, and I can't forget, November the 1st, it was on a Monday, 2021, November 1st, I went, and my pastor just said, oh, let's go together. So I drove him, and we went, and we had the conversation, and he confirmed what the Lord has been speaking to my heart. Because honestly, I've been running from starting a church, as in I was running. It was as though, it was trying to help me get clarity. Is it confusion that you are not clear on your direction, or are you afraid? So he knew that no, the person I know is not fear. So it's not that you are not ready. So what is it? That means it's clear direction. I remember, so he prayed for me, laid hand on me and all of that. And so that same month, I had the vision of where the area the church should be. I remember, having the conversation with the leaders then, and I was telling them that this is what I'm saying, this particular express site, at least on the top of my head, this and this is what I can think that is in the place. Is God trying to give us a bare land? Is he trying to do this? It was a funny one. And then, so by February 2022, as in, fall down 2022, then we started to, I just told the guys, we can't sit here and expect things to happen. So we went to the vicinity, which was around from Ogudu bus stop, the express where we saw. So in fact, we didn't even think that we could use there. So we're going inside K2, we're going inside places just to look for a place that can seat about 30, 40 people and just start something there and all of that. And so I remember I went to search, and just right where I saw, beside it was the fish farm Ogudu. So I didn't know that such a place ever existed. I had no idea. So went there with the two leaders that were just going around. They went there, and then so we asked, and I was like, okay, this is not bad. He had a couple of things that we wanted, but then we're searching other places and all. So when you're hearing figures, the way it is, you're wondering, okay, let's see how it goes. Then so when we went back, a couple of days down the line, then the Lord prompted in my heart again the vision that we saw, that wow, this was exactly where I saw. And this place is just right opposite the place. Really? So I didn't know. Then we furthered the conversation. And what I'll say that is the rest has been history. How we would even start out. People wonder, will he start in church, start off like that and all, and even we ourselves, we are surprised and shocked at the things that God has done, in our lives, the transformation, the testimonies, the healings, the expansions, marriages, babies, it's been amazing. Growth, particularly, people's transformation. This was how I came. This is how I am now. And to think that God has, or just getting started with us. So let me say, he has not started with us, And as we began to go and began to plan, so we're believing God for money, for resources and all of that, because the first service ran into, should I call figures? So ran into, quite a bit of figures. So because of the things that we had to do some initial purchases and all of that. So how would this happen and all? Then remember, so we had just gotten, a part of the money, given and all, and the Lord spoke to my heart. He said I should take over 80% of that money and go and give to another ministry. Hey, that kind of a thing. Thank God I'd worked with God, well enough in the short time by the special grace of God to not say, get thee behind me, Satan. Because you could actually think, what are you talking about? We need all the money in the world. And you're saying we should take not just 10% or 20%, over 80% of that money. And so I spoke to the leaders, and that's why I'm always grateful for our leaders. Always. They believe, they trust the vision, and it's just amazing. And that was also we discussed, we agreed. So put the money together, I got the contact and, found my way to the person, and, I gave it over to the man of God. And he just said a short word of prayer, about 10 seconds. And then, he just, left to his office, and I left. And as I was going, thank God for spiritual intelligence. I knew that words are what communicates blessing. Because in my head, I'm like, is that it? Is that it? You expect maybe there should be a shaking. We've taken practically all the money to go and give. And, and then, and different things started to happen. We just kept believing God. And that was it. So he came, we did the service, because we had to do quite a bit of purchases, the stage, all of those things. I remember I was at the point I tried to take time away just to pray and be, but I was still a bit involved in operation. So what's this, what's that, and all that. Eventually, just the week before, I had to run away to a place for about 3 days just to pray and be there and just, thank God for the things. Of course, I won't deceive you that there were no fears on how was it going to happen, how will it be like, and all of that. So we did that and went on, we did service, and we had announced when the next service would be. You know what that means? You are just coming off something and you did that. And all of this is not trying to do anything but just trying to follow the leading and the direction of the Holy Spirit. And He has led us all through this journey, and He would keep leading us by the special grace, of God. After the inaugural service, we had family and friends come in, and we had over 100 people in attendance, and that was it. Then the next service came, and we did the service as well and all that. Of course, definitely, people will go back to their churches, families and all. So thank God for we had learned from people that have gone ahead of us. So don't expect that the people that came at inaugural service are your members. They only came to celebrate with you. They were going back to where they were. So you have to build the assignment and the work God has committed to your trust. And we did that, and next service came, we did. Then after this next service, then all of a sudden there was now a conversation that maybe some changes in some people came, venue discussions and all of those things. And because of that, after, imagine just starting a church, you did 2 services, you didn't have now service for the next 2 months. So in June we didn't have service in the facility. In July we didn't have the service. We're trying to solve all that, and we're still ensuring that our leaders were communicating accordingly to all the workers, all the leaders, and that's why I'm grateful to God for the people He has sent to us. We indeed have gift of men. So after that, so we started to think, so how can we be a blessing to the people God has sent us to? So we started to think of outreaches and all that. So I remember, we spoke to the team about, so I remember particularly, during that year 2022, those students had been on a long academic strike. So they were not in school for about 8 months. So I hope I'm right, is it October? I think in October. So they were back in school. And so when they got back, so there was a lot of unrest. People were uncertain what was going to happen and all. So as a church, we just felt God, so what we have us do and all. So we felt that, okay, let's give them an opportunity for encouraging them, help them, support them academically. And of course, most of them coming back because I think it was a bit impromptu and it was sudden on them. So most of them, they might need food items and all of that. So we started to think and plan. And then so towards the examination time in December, I remember, so we did an outreach called Unbox. So we gave food items to 50 students. So we ensured that there were quite a bit of personal effects that they would need, food that could just sustain them at least for the exam period. And that was really wonderful for them. And coincidentally, that happened also to be our carol service in December. And leading up to our carol too was imagine the first carol for a church that just started out. And so how would it be like? So we believed in our choir for them to be able to go through their preparations, prepare spiritually, prepare in the studio, and then to come forward to be able to minister to God's people. And it was really amazing. We had people coming, the hall was jammed. We had to be getting more chairs in. I look forward to the next year, the next 5 years, the next decade, and of course multiple other decades after that, because I know that it's going to be indeed what our vision is, that this is our year of stronger. So we are going stronger and we are growing stronger, and that's been our testimony.